What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Marshall, and the last couple weeks I have spent working on the Coronet evenings whenever I have time. Haven't had a lot of time, but I've gotten a few things done. I've kind of been jumping around on a couple different things, but the main thing I've been working on has been this back corner here. So we have it, I think, pretty well all done. Where to start? So we're having to more or less kind of wide body the car in order to, because the track width is wider on the Crown Vic than it was on the Coronet. So the fenders, I'm having to, here's the fender over here. That's the fender. And originally it bolted on, had a flange that ran along there and bolted on. Well, that was really rough shape, all rusted out. So I started with making this sheet metal strip that runs all along here. And we're obviously still not done with it, but just kind of tacked it to the body. And so then the fender is going to kind of sit right on top of here, and then we'll weld it along there. So I've spent a bunch of time on this inner fender well here. This was really rusted out, had a bunch of holes rusted in here. So we made this filler panel a while ago and bead-rolled it there, so we got that in. And also we had to deal with some really odd shapes with this part down here being Crown Vic. Up here, obviously, Coronet. So I kind of did my best to kind of blend the two together, make it look as good as I could. It's not perfect or anything, but it's not too bad. I'm happy with how it turned out. So we rebuilt all this, the panel here, some patching up in here, and then also made that panel there, and we bead rolled that, so it's all primed. I started seam sealing it, but we ran out of seam sealer, so I'm still waiting on that. Then in the trunk area here, I made the floor on the Crown Vic was all rusted out, so I made this little panel there. Took a while to kind of figure out all these very odd shapes, and looks a little hacked together, but overall I'm relatively happy with it. So that corner is pretty well all done. So now basically the same thing on this side. So I already have it. I have it all cut out here, and I've started doing new sheet metal to fill that in. So just like the other side, we have the panel there, and then last night I was working on making this panel right there, and I built this little flange into it, and then just cut slits. That way I could still bend the whole panel. I don't have a shrinker and stretcher, so just did it that way. Kind of clamped in place. So you have to try to kind of blend the new metal in with the old one. It's a little tough to decide sometimes what to leave of the old metal versus just replacing it. So currently working on this. We'll make a filler panel there, fills that in. The floor on this side still good shape, so we're just going to leave that. This is all going to get covered with carpet eventually. Going around to the front, it's a little tight. Sorry, let me move the cardboard here. So we have the fenders kind of mocked in place right now, and I need to get the hood set in here, see how much room we have. It's going to be tight up front. That's where the radiator and everything sits there. There's not a lot of space. We'll see. Might have to get creative there. There was a flat panel that ran across the front here that I cut off, and we'll still probably have to shorten the frame horns on both sides. But we have started a little bit. We actually unbolted the mounts on each side of the radiator and kind of leaned it back to give us a little more clearance. it starts getting tight with all the AC stuff in there. But we're going to try our best. Hopefully we can make it fit. So that's kind of what I've been working on. So at the moment, it'll just be those inner fender wells at the moment. So we're going to get started with that. I'll probably put you up on a time lapse. It takes a long time to do it. So yeah, we're going to get started on that. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe. And thanks for all the support so far. Alright, so as you just saw there in the time lapse, we started out with a cardboard template, traced that onto metal, kind of fit it in place, make sure it was fitting okay. Then we did some bead rolling, which turned out okay. You run into the limitations of a small bead roller pretty quick. You just don't have the size to go all the way around a panel, so you got to stop, reposition. I'm no professional at it for sure yet. But anyway. So, we've got the panel kind of in place here, holding it on with some Clecos, and I'm happy with how it fits. I also took my air-powered hole punch, punched a bunch of holes all along there, so now we can just go through and plug weld into that flat flange that we had in there. I'll need to make a little filler panel for there. And then what we'll do, kind of the same thing as we did on the other side, I'll cut a piece of flat steel that just that sticks out here, goes all the way in, and then we'll just weld it all along there. So yeah, I'm happy with this side. It's definitely less patched together than the other side. So yeah, that worked pretty well. On the inside, there we go. So that's how the inside looks. Then we'll fit stuff a little tighter, weld it along there. And then there is the flat flange that continues all the way up through there. And that's that. All right, so I think I'm gonna wrap this episode up with that. It's gonna be a little bit shorter one. Hope you don't mind. I don't think you will. So anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. If you care, leave me a comment, leave me a like, and I will see you in the next episode.